Morning, everybody. Kat here. Welcome to the channel. It's Monday morning. Here in Canada, we're celebrating. It's a national holiday, Canada Day, to celebrate our Confederation, which took place July 1st, 1867. So we get a bank holiday, a day off. Everything in Ontario here is closed today. But what we're going to be talking about, and funnily enough, this came out the other day, and I think I'm the only YouTuber talking about this. I haven't seen anybody else. We are going to take a look at the Royal Financial Accounts, the Sovereign Grant Report, and the Sovereign Grant Report Royal Travel Appendix. And I'm going to provide links for you if you want to go and take a look at that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We're going to go over an article. We're going to go over some highlights, and then I'm going to add a little bit of my own thoughts to this. Now, we're going to be quoting a little bit from an article in Town and Country magazine written by Victoria Murphy. The header of the article states, the royal household received a total of 86.3 million pounds from the public purse, but still dipped into its reserve to cover its costs. Now, from the article, quote, indeed, the funds from the sovereign grant do not reflect the full cost of the monarchy, as their round-the-clock security costs are never revealed. So that's one aspect of public funds that you don't get to know about. They claim that the royal family costs the public about the cost of a pint of milk apiece, and that's it. But this round-the-clock, millions and millions of dollars in security, that's not included somehow. And, the royals have long hidden their true cost, which the group called Republic, which is an anti-monarchy group. Now, they say that the royals have long hidden their true costs, which they have worked out to be at least $345 million to the public. Now, in the report itself, it shows that some 3.9 million was spent on travel alone for the financial year. The report also reveals the individual salaries of some of the senior staff, and they're making good coin, no doubt about it. Also in the report, and this is astounding, in a financial report, they give a nod to the whole woke culture. To quote it, they go that Buckingham Palace took the opportunity to highlight that they have prioritized, quote, a new inclusion and diversity strategy. This saw the introduction of a comprehensive suite of educational responses and learning programs for all leaders and employees designed to build knowledge, understanding, and capability, and to promote a positive and inclusive workplace culture with high levels of staff engagement. Just silly. One thing that the report won't tell you is about their private incomes. I mean, we know the Duchy of Lancaster, which funds the king, he gets income from that. The Duchy of Cornwall was put in place hundreds of years ago to fund the Prince of Wales. and upon becoming Prince of Wales, William inherited the duchy and everything that goes with it. He was a billionaire overnight. You know, the report also doesn't go into the cost of these schemes that the palace is engaging in while taking public funding to support these programs, because the royal family will never use their own money. A couple of examples are all the wind farms. Presently, King Charles, of course, has dominion over the coastline and the seabed around England, where all these, offshore wind farms are. And he's got plans to build more vast wind farms across the coast. And in his statement, the king had said, this is going to be really good for the public because it's going to reduce the need on the national grid and it's going to reduce energy costs, and he'll personally be able to give back money to the public, from the profits they're making from these wind farms. What they don't tell you, okay, how much does the royal family cost you? A pint of milk a year? Even though the king has, in a sense, provided the land, the seas, the seabed, whatever, to build this wind farm, the money to do so is coming from the public purse. He is working in conjunction. The government will provide the grants to the charity backing the wind farm scheme for the king. So it's coming out of your pocket. And now, one thing he had said was that presently the king receives 25% of the profits off the top before the energy is distributed to the public right now. And he's saying with this further advancement, this further input of public funds to expand the wind farm scheme, that he would reduce the amount of, he's so good to his people that he will reduce the percentage of profit he receives. So what does that mean? Is he going to take 24%? Or is he going to take 2%? Now, this money, supposed profits from the wind farm scheme that he's saying will go back into the people's pockets, it doesn't, because that money, any profits of a scheme like that, in conjunction with the palace or one of its charities, right? That money goes back to the privy purse. That's the government. Once they have it in hand, they can spend it on whatever they want. It doesn't automatically become a rebate, like checks sent out to the public as a rebate for this, energy thing. No. So he's not giving money back. But he's getting money, and the more wind farms and schemes, and he doesn't have to pay for the, production of the wind farm, but he gets the profits, So it's win-win for the royal family, and the housing scheme works much the same way. I mean, we already have Poundbury, and I think there's one or two other towns that Charles has built from the ground up, and he owns and everything, and, it's turning Britain into a feudal state for real. even though pretty much with the royal family it already operates as one, but they, that's kind of hidden. They'll never let you see it. But even more so with this housing scheme, and now Prince William, they're overstepping the bounds of the government. He's supposed to be above the government, not really interfering, especially in his position as Prince of Wales. As king, you're there to advise, bring people together, warn, that kind of a thing, right? Not outright force your will on the government, right? But with William and this housing scheme, like he's going to end homelessness. Well, that's a government priority. That's a government job. That's not the job of the king. Like, people will say, oh, come on now, he's trying to do something fabulous. Leave the man alone. But when you're operating within a constitutional monarchy, to keep it that way, you kind of got to follow the rules. But here we go. William's going off on his own. He's going to supersede government action on homelessness and do his own thing. However, he is still going to get public funding, which means money from the taxpayer to fund his house building scheme on his land. On his land, in the Duchy of Cornwall. He owns it. He's just building more towns. He's just increasing the feudal state. That's all he's doing with your money. He'll take the profits, but he's going to use your money to build it. And the government's going along with the scheme, and everybody will get a kickback in the end, except the public. That's just the reality. I know everybody hates to, Harry bad, William good, the royal family are the best thing ever. The Queen, Diana, they might as well be saints, But you got to come to the reality. You got to understand what's really going on, how they operate, what they're all about. You really have to face the facts and take the rose-colored glasses off. And just looking ever so briefly at how they manage their finances and what they tell you and what they don't tell you. That's a pretty good place to start if you want to look at what the royal family's really all about. I'll leave links in the description to the Sovereign Grant Report as well as the Royal Travel Appendix. And I will tell you, on the official royal family website, you will find this information. That's where I'm getting it from. So, hope you enjoyed this. Hope it wasn't a little too dry. Hope it was informative as well as entertaining. Like, subscribe. By the way, welcome to all my new subscribers. Thanks for the support. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you have to say. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.